Okay, now in this video, I want to talk a little bit about the different relationship types that we have. Initially, we have taught nothing but the finish to start type relationship, where when a task gets finished, the next one starts. Well, we have other relationship types as well. We have finish to finish, we've got start to start, all right? And then we've got some other related features as well that I want to cover too. So I want to start out first of all with changing our relationship a little bit. Now, when you look at task B here, or task AB I should say, when it gets done, then the next task starts. The problem in that situation is, and I know all these are imaginary tasks, so they aren't really relating to anything other than just something in general. But just imagine that when you are waiting to begin this particular task, you got to wait until this one is done. And what if it happens to be a situation where that particular task, okay, can actually start at the same time this one starts, okay? So in essence, when this one starts, this one starts. Well, what that's going to do for us, number one, is it's going to shorten things up a little bit for us, because what will happen is if we're pulling this all the way back, because it's going to start at the same time this one is, then that pulls the whole project back and it saves us some time. So when you're on your own doing your own projects, these are the kind of things that you want to look out for. Is, well, can maybe both of these tasks start at the same time? Can all three of these start at the same time? So it's that type of thing. So how do we go about doing this? How do we make this happen? Well, probably the easiest way is to look at the relationship between the two here. So the relationship between those two, all right, is this little line here, our little link line, right? So you point anywhere on it. It's a little tough to do sometimes, but you get right on it and double click your mouse, all right? Then you'll get this task dependency window to pop up here, all right? Now, this is where you would go if you said, oh, I want to delete that link. If you were to hit the delete, then it'll get pulled back to the beginning. That's not what we want to do. Instead, what we want to do is we want to change it from being a finish, when this one finishes, this one starts, from a finish to start to a start to start. So we click onto that, hit OK, that pulls that one back. Now, everything gets pulled back, that's great, but can you see any potential problem here maybe? Well, look at this. Normally, if this one was done and then this one would start, then any changes to this would then affect when this one started, right? Maybe if this one became much longer, then this one would have to start way out there. So what's our problem? Our problem is that if I were to go here and I were to bring this up from 5 days, let's say bring it up to, let's say, 9 days, hit the enter key, well, that's great, but the problem is that for this task to start, okay, both of these need to be done. Let's just say that's our scenario. So what we need to do is make sure that not only does this one drive the rest of the project, like this one here, but also make sure that this one does as well. Let's also take a look at our relationship column here, and you can kind of see that this particular task here is also dependent on number 5, all right? So that's no problem. So what we need to do is, and I just want to have this appear here so you can see what happens when we change it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy here, all right, hold on my mouse on it, and I'm just going to drag it to this one here. Now when I do that, it then gives me a new relationship, an additional relationship. So now what happens is, if I go ahead and change this from 9 days to 12 days, all right, then it just goes out further like that, see? And that's perfect. That's exactly what we wanted to do, all right? So we really went through all that trouble just to make sure that this one didn't start until both of those were done. Now, if I go back and I change this back to being, again, the 5 days that we had, enter that in, then it pulls it right back. So the whole relationship thing and what drives what needs to be looked at to make sure that everything's still copacetic. Now, let's try that again here. Let's look at this one down here. All right. So this one, let's say that we want to change the relationship here so both of these start at the same time, right? So again, what I'll do is I'll double click that, change this to a start to start, hit OK, and there it pulls the whole thing back. And again, we want to make sure that both this one and this one drive this one here. So again, we'll just kind of point to here, hold down the mouse, and just drag it to there, let go, and voila. We could have also just gone in there and typed in 10, 11. That would have done the same thing too. All right. So now what happens is that this one here, we're going to increase, let's say, to 8 days, then it just pushes it all out, just like we just saw that last one. Let's look at another situation now here where we want to have a little bit different kind of relationship. And this is going to be one where it's what we call a finish to finish, where they both finish at the same time. All right. So in this case, let's look at these guys here. And we're going to go ahead and double click that, right, the relationship line there, the link line. And we can see that we've got a finish to start as usual. So we're going to click on that little drop down. We're going to click on to, in this case, what? FF, finish to finish. We do that. We hit OK, and it pulls all that back. All right. We won't really have anything to have to update here. This is just fine, but keep in mind that things are going to happen kind of like in reverse when it comes to adding more days here. So this particular task here, all right, which is the second of the two in that relationship, let's say that one were to increase to, let's say, 7 days. Enter that in. It doesn't do anything over here. It just pulls the Gantt bar out to the left instead of going the other way. See? So that's kind of an interesting view there. Now, if I go back there and bring it down a couple days there, you'll see how that pulls back. But it's not going to have any effect on the rest of the project. All right. And I didn't make a note of this before, but notice how it says FF there for finish to finish type relationship in there. That's pretty cool. Now let's go in another direction here. I'm going to go down a little bit here and look at these tasks here. Now, what I want to show you now is something called lag and lead time. Lag and lead time allow you to overlap your tasks to a certain degree or stretch them out. Now, I'll give you a little scenario here. Let's say that task number 34, which is EA here, this task here, let's just say that we have come to the conclusion that when that task gets done, we want there to be about let's say a 2-day delay before this one starts. All right. So that's the big thing there. So we want to make sure that there's a delay in there. All right. So it could be that maybe you're pouring concrete with this one. All right. And then you have to wait for it to set maybe a couple days before you can go and stand on it and do whatever you're going to be doing here, let's say, right? So how do we make that happen? Well, what we'll do is we're going to go back to that relationship area again, that line, that link line, double click it. That pops up, all right? And this is where we're going to say that we want to add a lag of 2 days, just like that, see? We hit OK on that, and it pulls it out 2 days. That's it. You don't really, what you'll see here is you'll have in here the plus 2 days to let you know that you got that 2-day lag in there. See, that's what shows up in that one. All right, that's pretty cool. All right, now we'll go a little bit further down here. Let's say that on the other hand, this particular task here, all right, and I'll kind of bring it up here a little bit closer here. That particular task can start a little bit before this one ends. In other words, while this task is going on, instead of us having to wait until it's done before we can start this one, we want to have it start a little bit in there. We don't want to make it like a start-to-start relationship. We just want to make it so where it's a little bit like that, somewhere between a finish to start and a start to start. How about that, right? So how do we do that? Well, again, we'll double click it, all right? And this time, instead of doing the positive days, we're going to do negative days. So let's just say that when that task is about 1 day into itself, in other words, it's a 4-day task, this one here, okay? It's a 4-day task. When about the first day is done, we want this one then to start, okay? Now, an example of that would be maybe you are distributing crates throughout the different departments and you need everybody to fill those crates. So basically, you're going to be distributing them, the crates, and then you're going to be filling them, all right? Well, there's no need to wait the 4 days of having to wait for everybody to get their crates before we can begin to fill them up. After about the first day, they can start doing it, right? So by doing that, that'll pull this back. That'll save us a little time with the other ones here, all right? So we do the -3 days, we hit OK, and it pulls it back just like that. Perfect. And you can see on here it says -3 days, all right? Now, if I go further down here, this will be a little bit more interesting here. Now, this is towards the end of the project here. These are the last two phases here, all right? So what happens is I'm looking at that finish date. That's not good. In other words, we need to pull that back a bit, all right? And it just so happens that we have plenty of tasks here that don't have to wait for each of them to be done before the next one starts. We got a few of them that we can do that too, all right? So let's say we go back to this one here. So remember, we got 522 originally, right? So we double click this one, all right? Let's say we bring that back, let's say 3 days. Hit OK. We take this one here. We'll double click that one, all right? Oop, I missed the line there. Okay, double click it about right there. And we'll bring that back 1 day, all right? All right. So we've knocked that down quite a bit for this date. We've brought this from the 22nd down to the 16th. And now on this one here, it turns out that we can start this one when this one, is 1 day into itself. So I'll just double click that line, bring that back maybe 2 days, hit OK, and there we go. And what's great about that kind of pulled that back over the weekend. So now we've got, even less time now. See, so it's pretty cool. We've got that down to now 5:14. So that's how those work, all right? And I don't know if I mentioned it. So the lag time is when you add positive number, where you kind of split it up, or not split it, but you put the space in between. The lag time is basically negative lead time, basically, right? Or actually, lag is where you got the stretch, where we did up here. Where was it? All right. So where did I do that one? Oh. All right. So I must have done that further down here. But anyway, so, okay. So this one right here, that is what we call lead time. Okay, so we've got it overlapping that way. When it goes the other way, where you got like a gap in there, and I can't figure out where I did that one, but wherever it was, that would be your lag time. All right, so like a laggard is holding us up, stretching up, and then the lead time is where we get the extra in there. All right, now let's look at another aspect here, and what we're going to talk about is something called split task. Now, let's say that this particular task here, well, actually, we'll pick a different one here. Let's say this task right here, number 4.22, all right? So right there, we'll bring that over a little bit. Now, it turns out that while this task is taking place, it's starting a couple days before the weekend. We're adding 2 days to it for the weekend we're not going to get charged for. And then we got 2 days afterwards. Let's say that we want to put a 2-day gap towards the end here where nothing's going to be worked on, but it's where we need to kind of have like a rest period. Maybe it might be something like we're pouring concrete, and then we want to have a little bit of extra time before we do something else to it, all right? And that's also part of that task. So what we want to do is we want to split the task at about this point here, okay? So the way that works is we go up under our task tab, we click on to this guy right here, which looks like a little firecracker, split task. We click that, all right? And you'll get this little marker. I don't know if you can see that. So it looks there. When I get to where I want to go, so I'm at Monday here, or let's say at Tuesday, right here at Tuesday. All right? Beginning of Tuesday. I hold, and you can see that in that box there. I hold down the mouse, I drag it like this, all right? And it says Wednesday. Now that means I've got 1 day gap, okay? If I drag it a little bit more, it says Thursday, all right? So if I let go, then I get that 2-day gap in there, see? And it's out till Thursday. And then and the rest of it goes there. So we're pouring the concrete. Maybe it needs to set for a couple of days before we go in there and do something else to the concrete, all right? And then once that's all done, then they can take off with the next task there. So that's how that works. You can have multiple splits in there as well. I mean, I go back here and hit that button again and go maybe over here to Monday and drag it over just a little bit like that to Tuesday, and I've got something like that. So it's up to you how you want to do that. It's probably not the most popular thing, but it's definitely something that people can use, all right? So I think between that, doing the lag and lead time, changing your relationship type from finish to start, or finish start to, start to start, or finish to finish, that's the way to go. Now, if you want to pull these back for whatever reason, let's say I want to get rid of this one here, I just point to that segment, hold down the mouse, and I just kind of drag it as far as I can go to the left until it stops, let go, and that reconnects it, all right? And then I can take this one, I can pull it back maybe just to here, reduce a little bit, or pull it back a little bit more, reduce a little bit more, right? Or completely get rid of it by just dragging it until it connects, let go, and we're back to square one. Okay, so hopefully that all comes in handy. You can use some of this stuff. I appreciate you watching the video. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.